This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, a great zechus that we have to be at one of the most flocked kvarim in all of Morocco, Rabbi Dovid Moshe. Originally, Rabbi Dovid Vamsha, and then over the years it became Rabbi Dovid Moshe, and then Rabbi Dovid Moshe. But it's one person, Rabbi Dovid Vamsha, Rabbi Dovid Moshe. His Yom Hilula is Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan. Some celebrate it as well on Rosh Chodesh Kislev. And already, weeks before Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan, this is the middle of the winter, you could see families on behemoths, on donkeys, on mules, traveling for weeks and weeks and weeks to get to this destination here in Kfar Aggouim, near Kfar Tamzarit. Rabbi Dovid Moshe, who was born in Yerushalayim about 800 years ago. He was Oved Hashem Be'emet. He was a Chacham Muflag, and the reason why he was sent by the Chachmei Yerushalayim to collect for the Aniyei Yerushalayim is because he was also a great Baal Darshan, and he was a great speaker, and he would be able to uplift the hearts of the Jews of Morocco. Now, despite the fact that this was a very dangerous trek, Rabbi Dovid Moshe followed the encouragement of the Chachmei Yisrael, and he came here to the Harei Atlas. He said, Shluchei Mitzvah, Einam Nizakim. So let's get a little bit of the historical backdrop of what was taking place in Morocco at the time. France attacked and conquered Algiers, but then France also wanted to annex Morocco. Morocco was under the domain of Mul'i Avad Arachman, and he wanted to ward off France at any cost. He was not going to let France invade Morocco, but it was a very heavy price to pay to be able to fund his military. So he made many decrees on the Jews. Number one, the Jews have to finance the war against France. Number two, he demanded that Jews change their garments and wear inferior garments. Jews were not allowed to wear shoes outside of the Meleh. And there was one particular wealthy person, he lived in Marrakesh. His name was, it should be familiar to you, Don Yehuda Abarbanel. Who's Don Yehuda Abarbanel? He was Mitze'etzav of Rav Haggadah of Don Yitzchak Abarbanel. Now this is obviously historically inaccurate, whatever information that they give over here, because if Rav Dovid Moshe lived 800 years ago, that was 200 years, 300 years before the Abarbanel. So certainly this Don Yehuda Abarbanel was not a descendant of Don Yitzchak Abarbanel. It was probably the other way around. Either way, he was a very wealthy person, and the Mul'i Eved Arachman said, you are going to finance my war, otherwise I'm going to kill you. So he said, hand me over your entire treasury. So he handed over the whole treasury. He has no choice. He said, no, you didn't give me everything. You must have jewels, you must have diamonds, you must be holding something back. He said, I'm not holding anything, I give you everything. He killed Don Yehuda Abarbanel. Then Don Yehuda Abarbanel had 17 daughters. He took daughter 17th, and he said, show me where your father's jewels are, your father's gold is. He said, no, he doesn't have anything. He killed daughter number 17. Now he had another daughter, Esther. Esther was engaged to Binyamin. Binyamin was the best Talmud in the yeshiva in Marrakesh. Binyamin said, I'm not going to let this guy kill he was engaged to Esther, I'm not going to let him kill Esther. So he attacked the Al-Haman's army, and they killed him, and they killed Esther, and that day was a day of great mourning in Marrakesh and in this area. This is the backdrop of the story of where Rabbi Dovid Moshe came to Morocco. He came to a community that was sullen, that was mourning, and then to top it off, there was a terrible plague taking place here in the Atlas Mountains. And one day Rabbi Dovid Moshe comes with his shamish to a certain cave, and he tells the shamish, wait over here. And the shamish hears Rabbi Dovid Moshe offering the following tefillah, Ribono shel olam, Muchan u'mazuman ani lahakriv nafshi v'limsar nishmasi k'karben oila u'tehei mitasi kapara liYehudim sheb'Morocco. He was willing to give up his life al Kiddush Hashem, don't try that at home, to put an end to the Magefa. And the next thing the shamish knows, Rabbi Dovid Moshe walks into a cave, and he tells the shamish, go back to Marrakesh, I'm giving up my life al Kiddush Hashem, and the Kachava, the shamish, goes back to the city. The Hamagefa ne'etzara, and the Jews of Morocco were saved from the Magefa. And they come back to the cave where Rabbi Dovid and Moshe was, and miraculously it was sealed shut. The rock, the stone, closed up the cave, and anyone who was there saw a menorah shalesh come down min hashamayim, and from that moment on, for the last 800 years, this has been a major spot of tefillah, of being Pa'il Yeshuais. So his Makom Hilula is Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan. Some observe it on Chodesh Kislev as well. I'm going to tell you now Ma'aseh Shahaya that is reported in the Sefer from who heard it from a Mashgiach in Eretz Yisrael.
Where was the cave?
It was closed up.
Right above it, right side of.
It's
in the air.
It's in the general.
No, it's not buried. Short hair, yeah.
It's here.
It's a short hair. The question is, right underneath or on the side? It's right here. It's a short hair. This is not.
This is the Makom.
Yes.
Okay, here's the story. A woman came to daven in this Makom, and her son was sick, and the son expired at the Kever. So the mother said, if the son expired here, I want to bury him here. The family said, well, he's from Eretz Yisrael, I can't bury him here. And the mother said, no, we have to bury him here. And the family said, we're not leaving until you take the kid with you to bury in Eretz Yisrael. So the mother took the kid, put him on top of the matzeva, and within a few moments, the kid came back to life, right in this makom, and it says it right over here. Okay? So, and he heard it from the mashgiach, a mashgiach in Eretz Yisrael. So, we should be zeicha over here, all of our tefillah should be neskabel, barachim and v'ratzain, for b'schus, this great tzaddik, Rav Dovid Moshe. If you look, there was a special tefillah composed that just like every day when we say in davening, the Arizal says every day when you say in davening, Kel nekamas Hashem, Kel nekamas Efiyah, you should be mechavein to the zechus of the Asar Harugei Malchus. We invoke in this tefillah, then the zechus of this tzaddik who gave up his life to save Klal Yisrael, the Rebbi Shem should bring Yeshua's v'nechamos lanu l'chol Yisrael. Amen.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.